Yes, my fans, another short story in this story series. How I got my first beating from a senior on the first day of my resumption in secondary school, GSS 1. Anytime I look back, I think back at that scenario, at that incident, it makes me laugh. But it's an experience that I passed through, and I know a lot of people must have passed through similar experience, and some people are even going through, or even some people are even about going through right now. So there are learning points. Yes, I got to that school, a secondary school, Government College, Victoria Island, popularly called Gokovi. That's the short form. Gocovi. Gokovi. Gokovi means Government College, Victoria Island. That was the secondary school I got to in GSS 1. My first day in school, I received a slap and a knock on my head. Not from the teacher, but from a so-called senior there. You understand? A so-called senior. We call them seniors there. This is what happened. That was my first day in school. That was my first day and I resumed in JS 1 at Gokovi Government College, Victoria Island, Lagos. Now this is what happened. We were shared into various classes. I was in JS 1B. So and each of those classes were appointed class head, not the class captain, not the one we appoint from among us. Seniors are given classes. Yes, each seniors has a class he heads. My school, the school I'm talking about, is only boys. It's for only boys. So the seniors we had, they are so rugged, so we can, any school that are not mixed, those boys are always very terrible. So we had a head from one of the senior classes as usual. So each time we make noise, the guy will just come. And what often is that those heads, if those heads are going to their classes, they always go in a community of their friends. They don't go alone. No. They go and the friends will decide to do whatever they feel like doing. So anytime we start making noise, our senior will just come. That is the head of that class will come. Or to stand up, raise, close your eyes, raise up your hand on the ass. Sleep, everybody sleep. You understand? Of course, you have to obey because the junior we just came to the school and we have to follow instruction as advised. So, but on this first day that I was beaten, which was my first day in that school, this is what happened. When I got to that school, that was my first day. They now ushered me into GS 1B. So I entered the class, I arranged, because we always sitting in twos. So I wanted to go and ease myself. And the place, the toilet, so we use ourselves, is not close to our class. It's a short distance from our class. The convenience is a short distance from our class. That's what I mean. So I have to trek some distance, not too far, but a short while before I could get to the convenience. So while I was trekking, passing through the seniors, our seniors now, their classes were in between the convenience and our class. So I have to pass through their window side before I could get to the toilet, that is the convenience. So I was passing through, there's this senior, and he said, "Hey, one more here, want me by?" That means, "You that boy, come here." So I pretended not to hear. Though I heard him, but I pretended not to hear. I pretended that I didn't hear what he was saying. And he called me again. "Your money will bunny." So you, this boy, said, "You didn't hear what I said?" I also pretended what it was. You know what happened? This guy removed the loafers because the windows are, they have louvers, these louvers. The guy removed the louvers, after the other, about 6 louvers, and jumped out of the window. You could not go to the door because of the school authority they were saying, because we have so many disciplined teachers then. Yes, that don't tolerate nonsense. This guy now removed the loafer and jumped out of the window and ran after me. When I was running, I didn't look back because if I looked back, I actually had it, but I didn't want to respond. So I was still on myself. So I was going. This guy came from the back, held me at the neck from the back, cleared me from the ground, and gave me a short slap. Bye. And I said, "What happened? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?" Give me a knock on my head. Bah! And he said, "If you talk again, I'll slap you again." I kept quiet. I said, what happened? What happened? He said, if I attract the attention of the school authority, that he was going to beat the hell out of me. You understand? And he drove me. Then when he drove me back, he didn't allow me to go out myself again. I told him how to go out myself. We started dragging ourselves, and so the other friends, those the classmates, okay, leave it, let's go and eat yourself and come back. You wait for him there. So as soon as I eat myself, I came through that same route. If pulled me that I should follow him to their window side. When I got to their window side, say I should jump to the window into their class. I know that of course I get to their class. In fact, my eyes will see pepper that day. So what I did was I didn't jump. Oh. I told him no, I don't know how to jump. He now lifted me. I was dragging with him. I was dragging with him. I started dragging with ourselves until the senior that was in charge of my own class saw us. He was coming from our class. And he said, what happened? He now called the other guy, the senior that was actually beating him. He called the senior and said, what happened? The senior was telling him that don't mind this boy, this new boy, they're very stubborn. Look at I was calling, he didn't want to respond. Look at I was telling him to kneel down, he was proving stubborn. Then the senior now asked what happened. And I narrated the stories that the senior that is in charge of my class that actually saw us now. I told him I was going to ease myself. And what I knew was that he ran after me. And before I knew what was happening, he held me from back and, slapped me from the ground. And he slapped me and he knocked me. I don't know. I didn't know what I did. And I've not offended him. I've not done anything to him. I don't even know him from anywhere. Today is my first day in the school. So how will I have offended him if I did not know him? You understand? Then he now told the senior now that he was calling me, that wanted to send me an errand. I ignored him that I didn't want to, respond because I'm stubborn. And he said, say all sort of things. So the senior who was the one in charge of my class, I told him that no, I'm a new person, that he should look at me, that I'm a new person, that my uniform is still new, that I've even washed it, that is still as new as it was, that he can assess me, that this is my first day in the school, that he should leave me, that he should pardon me, that I will not do that again. Then it's not say I should kneel down and apologize. Not just kneel down, after kneeling down, he said I should prostrate because the Yoruba culture. You want to show the man the highest level of respect you must, as a man, as a boy, greeting or apologizing to an elderly person must prostrate, not just kneeling down. It's the lady that kneels down, it's the girls that kneel down, but the men, the boys, prostrate for their senior people. So I knelt down and said, no, that's not enough. I have to prostrate with my white. I have to prostrate with my white on the floor. I have to prostrate with my white uniform on the floor. Very, very funny indeed. I will never ever forget this incident. That is one of the stories of my life. Thank you. God bless you, my fans.